Hey, 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 everybody. You guys know the drill. Before we get started, a big thank you from me for listening. An extra special thank you to our heroes of Edera for continuing to support the show with not just their ears, but also their wallets. And thank you all for being part of this awesome community. It's because of you guys that it still makes sense to come out here every Sunday and put something out every Friday. And I thank you all for being part of this journey. So without any further ado, on into the show. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the Seventh Valkyrie, where we watch one guy go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie. I don't know if it's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to happen. That's why we're on the adventure, because it's got lots of twists and turns. What's going on, everybody? Someone tried to kill the former president yesterday, so that was kind of wild. I had a bunch of other stuff to talk about, and I will get to it. But man, that was pretty insane. Like everyone's talking about it, and I, for the first time ever, am like, I cannot be engaged in like the back and forth and the speculation and the conversation. There was a time, it was 6 months ago, where I wasn't so weary, where I wasn't so like, God, just end this all. Preferably not with a bullet through my head. Preferably not through a bullet with anybody's head. Like, I'd love for justice to prevail and for the will of the people to be represented, not someone to get shot and that flip everything on its head. So, if you guys want to know the official Seventh Valkyrie podcast TABTA stance, it is we don't like anybody getting shot, no matter how much we don't like them. Anyway. Oh my God, you guys can't see this because it's not a video podcast, and if it was, it would just be me talking into a closet. But Stardust just came through and said hi. She was like, Colin, nobody wants to hear about more of speculation around the most recent insane, world-changing, possibly event. So let's talk about the Seventh Valkyrie. And indeed, overshadowed by this, perhaps, was the fact that we just dropped part 2 of Nature of Predators on Friday, which is, man, at times I'm so happy that exists, and then at other times it makes me shudder. Real, like people who I'm sure who have been careers as voice actors and regular actors have gotten much more used to playing the role, but when you wrote the role and you inhabit it and you're voicing all the voices and some of them are closer to your actual voice than others so that you give them dynamic range, it starts to become a weird sort of line blurring kind of experience. I've talked about this before, but goddamn, when the Machine King gets savage, and when we get to see that first glimpse inside just the way that he thinks about the world, as he's kind of almost like a charming dork in some ways, and also a murdering sociopath. Like, it's, I wish I could tell you some of the characters that are in this series. Like, I wish I could tell you what I was trying to do and what they were built off of, and I could tell you some of the influences from the Machine King, but Kyria Krona has really taken on a life of its own, and sometimes I just have to kind of ride the psychotic lightning. Shout out to a very good Metallica album. But yeah, I hope that some of you didn't put down the series for good after that one. There was also some times with Big Z Zoran's edits where I was like, oh, that's gruesome. I don't even know if I want that, but it's so good and it's so gruesome, but it's also so bad because it's so gruesome. And it's like, which way are we gonna go? And it's like, well, Machine King wants it gruesome, so we're keeping in the edits. Yeah. we're getting into the heart of this season. I've got up till I think chapter 15 or 16 queued up, so stay tuned. We got plenty more weeks of content. We got more recording this week. I'm getting into a little bit of a better flow in terms of like producing content on a more regular basis, and that's just part of the learning process. Like sometimes I kind of portray myself as like, ooh, like I'm an undiscovered pro, but in reality, like I'm figuring this out right alongside you guys, like how an independently run business works, how Patreon works, how selling merch works, how keeping people engaged, how growing your business. I mean, it's all stuff that we're kind of just figuring out on our together. Well, you guys are getting the insight, but I'm figuring it out kind of on my own. So that's where you guys, like, if any of you guys ever has like a comment on Instagram or wants to message me or be like, hey, we could use more of this. I love that. I don't love this. Let me know. Like, I'm so open to feedback and to shifting all the bits and pieces around about how this comes out, how it, well, maybe not how it comes out, but like, I love hearing any feedback. I love hearing interest, what you guys want to see more of, what you guys want to hear more of. I'm not going to change the actual story because that's like been written and is already in place. And so I'm just kind of executing on the plan. But whatever around that, maybe extra content, what you guys want to see, what you guys want TABTA to be, always consider my ear open because this is for you guys. Like the series itself is kind of for me, and TABTA is a great little journal, but ultimately, like some of this content that I put out, especially TABTA and weekly midweek podcasts that I haven't really been doing a ton of, I mean, in the social, it's like that's all, like I create it and I love creating it, but it's for you guys. So anyway, yeah, what a twist of a weekend we've had. It kind of makes like continuing on with your job seem like, oh my god, like we're just gonna go back to work on Monday. But hopefully when you guys go back to work, you'll have my enthusiastic, occasionally wonderful and occasionally over the top voice welcoming you back into another week on this chaotic place we call Earth. So have a wonderful, wonderful night, guys. Have a wonderful week. I'm wishing you guys all safety, wishing you all the best, wishing a prosperous future for our planet, though that possibility grows further away by the day. And it's, hey, something we got to fight for. So with that, I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week, like I already said. And calling out.